For this project, you're going to be using the Apple software called Keynote. It is this blue one that is shaped kind of like a podium. I would recommend making sure that you download it from the, self-service, just because sometimes the native apps will ask you to create an Apple ID and you guys don't have Apple IDs. So you might want to make sure that this is one that you've downloaded from self-service and not one that came on the iPad. Once you've downloaded it, you're going to go ahead and open it up, and you will see, now you see here my presentation's already open, but if I go back, you'll see an area where you can choose to create a new presentation. So what you would do is up at the top, you would just hit the plus sign and you can choose a theme. For this particular project, we're going to start out with just a basic white theme. You guys can go back and change it later. So you'll open up that basic white theme and you're going to see your editing panel. To add new slides to your presentation, down here at the bottom is the plus inside of a box, and you're going to go ahead and hit that, and you will see all the different slide layouts possible. Remember that certain layouts have certain functions. So your biggies are going to be the title slide, the title and bullets, and the section. You can obviously include other ones, but you want to try to make sure that you're using them for the proper purposes. Title obviously is the title of the presentation. You really only want one title slide. Title and bullets is going to be where you're presenting any information. You could also use just bullets if you want. That is an option, but most of the time you want to make sure you're clearly stating exactly what's covered on that slide. And section is good for if you have multiple topics to cover within one presentation, you can break it up with the sections. So once you have added all the slides in and you want to start adding in some transitions and some animations, what you're going to do is you're going to hit this circle with the triple dots and you're going to look for transitions and builds. And you're going to open that up, and the first thing you'll be able to add is a transition. Down here at the bottom, you just tap that and you can choose any of the transitions. Remember that transitions and animations should be opposite of each other. Over-the-top transitions require understated animations, and over-the-top animations require understated transitions so that you're not like blowing people's minds. Once you've chosen a transition, you can also go ahead and put in an animation. You're going to do this solely on the bullet slides. You do not put animations on every single slide because it's unnecessary. The point of a bullet is to provide information. The point of an animation is to make sure that that information is made clear and obvious. So you can either tap animate once you open the text editing box like I did here, or again, you could go back up to your triple dot with the circle. So I'm going to go ahead and hit animate. And now you can see I have add build in, add action, or add build out. Add build in means that that is going to bring the text into the slide. Add action means that the text will appear right away and then something will occur that will happen on the text itself. And add build out means that your text is leaving. Realistically, if you are doing a presentation, like actually physically getting up and presenting the thing, you really only want to deal with add build in, because why in heaven's name would you want your information to disappear before you're done talking about it? And as far as add action, that's primarily used for specific points that you want to really call attention to, things that people really need to remember from your presentation. So add action is not used very often, and really you want to focus on add build in. So once you have your transitions and animations in, what you want to make sure that you do when we are exporting this, which I'll get to in a second, is when you're doing your transitions, and let's just say I pick confetti, what you need to make sure that you do is that you actually edit the timing. That's the word I want. You want to edit the timing on the transition, the very first transition specifically, because we have found that when you export it, it is ending up a little too long. So I'll cover that in the adding transitions video specifically, but keep that in mind. The final thing that I want to point out to you guys is how to export this. If you are exporting this to turn it in, most programs that the teachers are using are not going to be able to view just a straight Keynote like this. So what you want to do is you want to hit that triple dot in the circle menu, go to the second option, Export, and select Movie. It's the third option down. And when you're doing that, you want to go ahead and let most of it go. You can let your resolution at 1080p or whatever it comes up as, and leave your slides alone unless you feel like any of your slides need to be any longer. Then you're going to hit export, and it's going to save it over to your photos. That's the word I was looking for. So here you have your option to save video, and that'll put it into your Photos app. And from there, you can attach it to Google Classroom or email it or whatever it is that you need to do. So that's the basic overview of Keynote. Hopefully you guys have little difficulty with navigating it, but if you do have questions, please make sure you ask me.